Despite his medical disqualification for regular military duty, Strauss applied to join the U.S. Navy Reserve in 1925, becoming effective 1926, and he received an officer's commission as a lieutenant intelligence officer. He remained in the reserve as a lieutenant commander in 1939 and 1940. As World War II began overseas, he volunteered for active duty. He wanted to go into intelligence but was blocked, reportedly because the Director of Naval Intelligence, U.S. Navy, was prejudiced against Jews and because Strauss's contributions to B.N.I.B. RIT had aroused suspicion on the part of FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover and others in the U.S. intelligence community. Instead, in February 1941, he was called to active duty and was assigned as a staff assistant to the chief at the Bureau of Ordnance, where he helped organize and manage Navy munitions work. Strauss and his wife moved to Washington, D.C., where they lived in an apartment at the prestigious Shoreham Hotel. She served as an operating room nurse, aide during this period. During 1941, Strauss recommended actions to improve inspectors' abilities and consolidate field inspections into one general inspector's office that was independent of the Navy's bureau system. These changes took hold by the following year. Strauss organized a morale-boosting effort to award A for Excellence awards to plants doing a good job of making war materials. The program proved popular and helped the United States ramp up production quickly in case it entered the war. By the end of 1941, the Bureau of Ordnance had given the A to 94 different defense contractors. It was adopted across all services in 1942 as the Army-Navy A award. And over the course of the war, over 4,000 of them were granted. Strauss's biographer has depicted Strauss as also helping to investigate the notorious failures of U.S. torpedoes during the war and coordinate development of the very secret and highly successful anti-aircraft VT proximity fuse. However, histories of these efforts do not indicate that Strauss played a significant role. When James V. Forrestal succeeded Frank Knox as Secretary of the Navy in May 1944, he employed Strauss as his special assistant. In conjunction with Senator Harry F. Byrd of Virginia, Strauss established the Office of Naval Research, which kept scientific research of naval matters under control of the Navy rather than civilian or academic organizations. Strauss's contributions were recognized by the Navy, and by 1945 he was serving on the Army-Navy Munitions Board, a role that concluded by the following year. He was also on the Naval Reserve Policy Board starting in 1946. Earlier during the war, Strauss was promoted to commander. Then by November 1943 was a captain. He rose in rank and influence due to a combination of his intelligence, personal energy, and ability to find favor in higher places. Strauss's rigid manner managed to make enemies during the war as well, including significant disputes with A.N. Toland, Chief Counsel for the House Committee on Naval Affairs, Representative Carl Vinson, Chair of that committee, and Admiral Ernest J. King, the Chief of Naval Operations. A proposed promotion for Strauss in 1944 to Rear Admiral did not happen at the time due to a variety of factors, including that President Franklin D. Roosevelt had disliked Strauss for years, going back to an incident at an inner circle event in 1932, and blocked the move. Roosevelt's death changed matters, as his successor Harry S. Truman had no negative feelings about Strauss. In July 1945, Strauss was promoted to Commodore. Then in November 1945, after the war, Strauss was promoted to Rear Admiral by Truman. The promotion to flag rank was unusual for a member of the reserve. And as such, he liked being addressed as Admiral Strauss, even though use of the honorific perturbed some regular officers who considered him a civilian. By this time, Strauss had taken advantage of his ties in both Washington and Wall Street to enter the post-war establishment in the capital. He was also learning how to get things accomplished in Washington via unofficial back channels, something he would become quite adept at.